So I'm glad you all are here. We'll get started shortly. I hope you all felt good after our first morning together, albeit you may have felt a little bit like me, meaning ready to go to bed by 6 in the evening. Ironically, I woke up yesterday at 8 o'clock. I blew past my alarm. So never feel ashamed if the morning routine, early morning routine, it feels a bit like a challenge. So I'm going to just give a few moments just for a few more people to join. I'm starting my timer for 32 minutes. Please just come to your mat in a seated position and sit here for a moment just in quiet as we wait just a few more seconds as people come in. I hope your house is warm. I hope you slept well and the perfect amount. Hopefully you got your lemon water in. If you don't know what I mean when I say that in my video introducing Mindful Mornings, I tell you that I think that is a fabulous way to start your days with a big glass of water, and better yet, with a big glass of water with one full lemon squeezed in. Lots of health benefits. And you're telling yourself each day when you do that, even if it's just a glass of water, that you want to start your day off in a healthy way. So whether we're together or not, I really encourage you to do that before you have your cup of coffee. So come seated on your mat in a cross-legged position, your palms down on your thighs, long straight spine. You can dip your chin a little bit, close your eyes or gaze gently at the floor about a foot or two in front of you. Take a couple deep, long breaths in, preferably to the count of 3. So take a deep breath out and then a breath in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Start getting yourself familiar with a cadenced breathing where you're aware of the inhale and the exhales and the length. Breathing in deeply, we'll talk today about diaphragmatic breathing and why that is such a valuable breath. So today's theme, we are, as we sit here, I want you to focus right now on your tailbone and your bum hitting the floor. Your ankles on the floor, your thighs where they touch the floor. Feeling yourself rooted. I don't know if you've seen a beautiful sequoia or redwood tree and how they are there and they ain't going anywhere. They are stable and solid in the ground. Or if you ever hike and see a ridge line of a mountain, you see these trees up there that are just battered by wind. You ever go up there in the winter on a ridge line, you just see them caked with snow. And I'm always amazed at how they just stay. And so today's focus is on the root chakra, or more if you just want to think about that rootedness, that groundedness, that presence in life. The root chakra is about safety and security and purpose. So as you just sit there and breathe for a few moments, I just want to share a quote and just my thoughts here. Maya Angelou said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." So we are each living, breathing Homo sapiens. We're here for an allotted time. Each day truly is a blessing. We each are valuable. We have a purpose. We have an untold story. So this focus on being present is allowing ourselves to be here, present in our bodies, present in our lives, present in each moment, recognizing that we have a purpose for ourselves and for one another. And the more that we bring ourselves to that present state in each moment during the day, particularly when we notice our breath is crazy, our actions are crazy, our mind is crazy, the more quickly we come back to that presence and that purpose in being here. So let's take a deep breath in and we'll begin with a long Om. So push all that breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Next breath in will begin. When we do that, we wake our throat chakra up, our bodies up. Nobody has to hear if it sounded like a frog. Okay, hands still down on your thighs. Let's begin with some Supi grinds, which are a grind moving to the right now, where you can press into your thighs, hold on to your knees, and you are spinning forward and back, just waking up your root, waking up your thighs, your glutes as we spin around. Breath in as you go forward. Breath out as you go back. Feeling yourself rooted, even as we move. Do two more to the right. Thinking of yourself scraping a bowl of cookie dough. And now, at whatever place you're at, shift to the left. As you move forward, waking things up. As you move back, your abdomen is going to start waking up because you're starting to engage your stomach. Breath in as you go forward. Breath out as you go back. And really don't stress about the breath here. We're waking ourselves up. All right, two more here. And then come to a seated center position. Shoulders back, heart open, breathing in. Take your hands and place them on your shoulders. Your fingers are forward, your thumb is back around. And we are going to start here. And then with the breath in, we raise our hands up. With the breath out, we bring them back to that same position. And that's as fast or as slow as you have it. We usually speed up. Straight spine, rooted. Think of that sequoia stretching up, reaching to the sky while you're rooted down into the earth. Roots going deep into the earth. Breath in on the up, breath out on the down. You can either do all of this through your nose or a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep that going until we have our little countdown. Picking up your arms, lungs. 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Finish with your arms up high, deep breath in, pulling all the way from your root to your fingertips. Breath in, hold, and release. Now bring yourself to a tabletop position where we started last week. And you will have your, you can do a couple cat-cows here. So cow is when your tummy is stretching down to the floor. Cat, stretching up like a Halloween cat, pushing into your hands. You can have your toes curled, or you can have them, your tops of your feet on the floor. And we're going to just rotate through, blow through a couple of these. Breath in when you shine forward, and cow. Breath out when you come up into cat. Keep doing that. I'm just going to make sure there's no comments or any issues that we're having. Okay. Keeping that cat cow. In the world of Zoom, you don't know what's happening. Okay, come to a neutral spine and then raise your hips up to a downward dog, our first downward dog of the day. So please do not keep your legs straight. Bend them, walk your dog a little bit, shift, hips shifting back and forth to the left and the right. Push firmly into your hands. Take a gentle glance forward and make sure your fingertips are spread and you can see the color of your mat in between each finger. You want that solid base. Now come to a still position. You can feel your feet grounded into your mat, your legs strong. Engage your quads. Feel your tailbone reaching up to the sky, pressing in still to your hands. You're a solid Egyptian pyramid right now. Your feet are about hip width apart. Raise your right leg up to the sky. And then peel your right hip open with your right foot falling back behind you. We're waking up the front of our hips. Just letting that foot drop back behind you. You can rotate your ankle a little bit while it's back there. Your arms are solid still. Make sure that your hips, your shoulders are still square with the ground. So if you need to bring your shoulders back square, parallel with the ground. Take a deep breath in, stretch a bit more, and then release your leg down. Take a deep breath in, out. Raise that left leg up to the sky. And you can either flex or just have your foot pointed and then peel your hip open to the left and let that hip splay open. Go ahead and rotate your ankle a couple times. Taking some deep breaths. Should be a nice, good stretch in this rooted position. Place your feet down. You're here in presence. And now shift forward to a plank. Actually, drop your knees for a moment. Let's just take a breath because we have been on our shoulders, hands, everything for a moment. Take a couple cat cows. Breath in, breath out into cat. Do two more on your own. Come to neutral. And then come up to plank. And you can either do, let's see, the goal is that you're in plank and we take a breath out when we come into a plank frog, breath in when we come forward, breath out, breath in. So plank frogs, we're just activating again our feet, our legs, our solid base in our arms. Have your heels touching together as you do this. So this is similar to the frogs we did the other day. Do 5 more on your own. End in plank. And then walk your hands back to your feet.
Bring your feet again to a parallel hip distance apart. Grab both elbows with opposite hands and then completely relax yourself down into a forward fold. Take a couple deep breaths, restorative breaths in. Pressing firmly into your feet. Safety, security, purpose, grounded, presence. Keep breathing for a moment in that forward fold. And then release your hands, your elbows. Drop your bum back, and we're going to come into a chair pose. Raising your arms up overhead. In a chair pose, tuck your tailbone in, kind of like you're pushing your tailbone forward, pelvis forward, so you don't have a J-Lo booty pop here. Beyonce, whoever, me sometimes. Tuck your tailbone in, and then we're going to come to a forward fold again, bringing our arms back behind us, and then rise up again into chair Utkatasana. Spread your fingers wide, engage your fingers, breath out, holding down, raising your arms up behind you, back behind you, up, breath in, flow through 5 of these powerful poses. Your thighs should be burning a bit right now. And when you're done, forward fold, release your fingertips to the floor. And then rise all the way up, swinging your arms up and over to prayer pose overhead. Deep breath in. Solid, solid tree. And then release your arms. Beautiful. All right, we are going to do tree for a moment. So this is your moment if you need to bring a chair in or hold on to a wall, or if you are practiced in tree pose, leaning into your left foot. I want you to feel that foot engage firmly into the floor. If you can, lift your right leg and you can place it on your ankle as a little kickstand. You can place it on your calf, and you can hold your hands, sometimes putting them in prayer pose and pressing in can be balancing, or bring it all the way up to your thigh and then shift that right knee back a little bit. You can have it somewhere kind of pointing forward and then as far back as you want, pushing your left thigh into your right foot. If you're able to, bring your hands to prayer, so you can either have your hands down, prayer pose, and if you're ready at all, you can raise your hands overhead. I'm going to stick with prayer pose this early in the morning. Take a couple deep breaths in. I'll mirror this one here. And then release your arms down, check them out a little bit. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath in, breath out. Rooted, safe, secure, with purpose. If we don't feel safe and secure and create that safety, and often our breath, and we'll talk about that in a moment, is what's going to bring us back into a safe and non-reactionary space. We have to create that safety to live our purpose. All right, lean your weight into that right leg, engage your quad, lift your left leg up to either ankle, calf, or up to your thigh, pushing that right thigh into your left foot, and then bring yourself to prayer pose. This is kind of funny to see myself in that video. pressing your hands together, engage that right quad, that right leg. One more deep breath in, breath out, and release your foot. Beautiful. All right, come to the front of your mat, depending on which way you're facing right now. Swing your arms up and overhead, prayer pose, big, tall tree stretch, and then fold over your thighs. Place your fingertips onto the ground. You can do a little, spidey fingers here, and step your right foot back into a runner's lunge. So you can toe heel your feet to the left and to the right so that you are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope, and you are on your fingertips. If you are flexible enough already this early morning, press your hands flat on the ground, or you can go ahead, you have a block, and put some blocks next to put your hands on blocks. And let's rotate a flow here where we're kind of lunging forward and then lunging back, shifting our hips back, straightening our left leg as much as we have in us. Breath forward, breath out back. Whatever breath pattern you're on right now. I always just say, keep breathing. Again, focus on your right toes grounded into the earth, your left foot grounded into the earth. Solid, secure, planted with purpose. All right, on your next forward, bring that right foot forward and fold forward over your thighs. Come back up onto spidey fingers, stretch your head, your neck forward to a flat back, rise up to a flat back. And then bend your knees again, and then step that left foot back into a runner's lunge. And begin that flow. Breath in, breath out. Reaching forward, reaching back. I know if I could see you, you are doing a beautiful job in your home on this beautiful new day. Do 3 more forward and back. And then step that left foot forward to meet the right foot and bring yourself into a malasana, so a yogic squat. So bring your feet together and then, or separated about a hip distance. And this is a yogic squat. We're just dropping our hips down, stretching out our hips, pressing our hands together in prayer pose. Create some tension between your knees into your elbows and elbows into your knees, pushing your hands together, getting a nice stretch. Press your groin, your inner thighs. Notice where how your back and your vertebrae is. Is it straight? And if you can, use the pushing of your hands to straighten your back from your tailbone all the way up to your crown, so that you're looking at the camera basically, but you can gently close your eyes. Wonderful. And now toe heel your feet together again, and we're going to do 10 frogs like we did yesterday or 2 days ago. Press your heels together and come onto your fingertips or put your hands flat And then raise your legs up to a breath in, not straightening your legs. Keep the bend in the legs. Breath out. So breath in when you have straight legs. Breath out when you come up. Lost count, so I'm going to just do 5 more. 5. Come on down to a squat again, and then put your fingertips behind you and come back onto your bum. We are now back to the position that we started. So now bring yourself onto your back and just lay down. We're not done yet. And then bring your feet just in front of your bum, about hip distance apart, pressing firmly into your feet. We're going to do some bridge lifts. So you can see me, yes. Okay. So take your hands, palms facing down, press firmly onto the ground. Your feet are firmly pressed into the ground, and lift your hips to the sky. Breath in, breath out, bring them back to the ground. Breath in, raise up. Breath out, bring them down. You should be pressing firmly into your feet, which is going to engage your quads, your hamstrings more, as we lift our pelvis up to the sky. This is very good for engaging stability, security, our root chakra. Chakras are energy systems in our body. I like to just think the more we move our body and breathe, the more we just awaken up our physical body, our emotions, our soul, our spiritual body, if that's what language that is okay for us, just waking ourselves up. Do 3 more. And then come to lie completely on. Just relax your legs all the way down. Lay on the floor. Take a breath in. Now what I'd like you to do is take your hands, palms facing down, onto your belly. And I want you to be touching your fingers together. Your middle fingers are going to be pressed onto your belly. If you need to look up, you can. Fingers, middle fingers pressing together here. Hands are just wrapping around the belly. And why this is important, I'm teaching diaphragmatic breathing. The diaphragm is a muscle at the base of our lungs. Using this muscle for deeper belly breathing is the way that we are supposed to breathe. It's the way animals breathe, the way dogs breathe. Too many of us are breathing just short, quick breaths into our chest. And we're supposed to follow the Buddha and get a big old belly. So what you're going to be doing here is taking a deep breath in and pushing your belly, getting all the air into your belly so that your fingertips should pull apart. You're getting so much air, and then when you breathe out, those fingertips should come back together. So take a deep breath into your belly, fingers pull apart, stomach pushes out, breath out, those fingers come back together. Breath in, breath out. So feel that difference. When we are stressed, when really we need to be training ourselves to breathe like this all the time. If you're sitting at your desk, if you're in the car, particularly if you're stressed, drop into your belly. Feel that breath. It's going to help with digestion, respiratory function, mental health, depression, anxiety. It's going to bring you back into a calm state. So just sit there for a moment and breathe deep into your belly for a few moments of silence. You are safe, secure. There is always enough. Abundance may look like different things, but there is always enough for us. We are safe and secure, and we have a purpose for being here. And the only way that we can accomplish what we need to is being present and grounded. At any point that you feel ungrounded in your life, you just drop into a deep belly diaphragmatic breath. I actually have a video I can share with you about this that I've done on the diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so you continue to breathe. I want to share our intention. I am grounded and present in my breath. There is only one me. What I offer with my time, my ideas, what I have learned from my life lessons, how I love and give is unique and important to the world, to my friends, to my family, to strangers. I am needed here. I trust myself to show up consistently, authentically, and generously for others and myself with presence, awareness, and gratitude. Take a deep breath in. Okay, so today we just have a few more moments together. I'm going to go over just a moment. Take a moment to think about your family and friends whom you support. So really what I want to do is kind of foster this knowledge of who you are, what your strengths are, what your purpose is, so that you can bring yourself into presence when you're feeling scattered through this breath, and remember that you are secure and safe and that there's a purpose for you. So take a moment between now and when we meet next and think about when and why friends and family come to you. Think about, is it in times of distress? Is it because they need somebody to motivate them and they want to hike with you? Is it in grief or dark times that people come to you? So think about that. Why do people come to me? What is it that I bring? Think about compliments and accolades you've received over your life, and start to see what themes there are about what is your purpose here. And just start jotting down what kind of person, what are these traits? What kind of person if it's always in times of grief, that means you have a gift of comfort that you bring to people. If it's energy that people look for in you, just start getting really familiar with who you are, what your emotional, mental, physical footprint is that people rely on you for. Think about the ones that light you up as you look at this list. I don't want you thinking about, if you go down that list and you're like, yeah, but that one I do out of a dysfunctional pattern, just because I'm used to being the saver of people. Circle the items that light you up, that when I show up this way, because I know people come to me, I also feel excited. And then I want you to just think about ways you can bring that into your life more. And so it's coming to understand yourself, it's coming to understand the talents, the resources that you provide, and then showing up more and bringing those more into your day-to-day life. And as you are more grounded and present, you can sit after this session and think about what and how do I want to show up more. So I hope that this practice has been good to you. From a laying down position, you can just stay there and rub your hands briskly
over your heart. Fast, 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 creating that heat, and then bringing your hands in prayer pose to your sternum, pressing into your hands. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. We are safe and secure. We have purpose. And only when we bring ourselves to the present moment through deep breath can we fulfill. See you next Tuesday on the mat. Please make sure you're looking at our Facebook page to be able to see the recording. Do that recording over the weekend. You can use these over, these practices. And I look forward to seeing you next week.